Just wanted to ask you, you've been in a situation where, when you were with the Patriots and even last year with the Titans, where you probably owned a couple of your rivals, you beat the same teams over and over and over. I'm wondering, did you ever feel like that became psychological? And obviously I'm asking because even though you're new here, the Eagles have beaten the Giants 12 of the last 13 times.
Yeah, I can say that, it was very different. Obviously, the Patriots were on the right side of a lot of them. When I went to Tennessee, they never beat Andrew Luck. They were like 0 something against the Colts or 1 and whatever against the Colts. Jacksonville was pretty split, and Houston won a division like every year. So we were on the wrong side of it, and we didn't care. I don't think players care. I think playing in this league for 8 years, the division games matter. And I think they're the toughest games. I think when you play somebody twice, I think it's tough because they know your tendencies, they know your players. They're gonna work on what hurt them last time. They're not gonna make the same mistakes. They're gonna come with something different. It's tougher to prepare because you know them so well, so they might change it up on you. So I think division games are always tough because of familiarity. And when we scout other teams, I know if we're playing the Rams or someone we don't play as often. We look how their division plays them. We look how San Fran plays them. We look how those guys might play them and say, oh, they know them, so this is what they do. So I would say that division games are always close games, always tough games, and it comes down to toughness and physicality a lot of times. And I'm sure the history of the Eagles and Giants come down to a lot of physicality and tough, hard-nosed games there with two tough cities.
Jordan?
Hey, Logan. How you doing? What's this? Is everything set kind of slow down for you? I know you obviously had to take care of some personal stuff the other day, and how are you compartmentalizing everything?
Yeah, I spoke about compartmentalizing, and I don't know how realistic it is. I think about my wife every minute of every day. But, it's definitely emotionally tough that, she's on the mend. Grateful to have her obviously still with me. But, like we said, we're mourning a loss at the same time. So I can't tell anybody how to do it. I just try to keep pushing 1 foot forward every day. And if I'm going to take that, if I am going to go to work and go to football and leave my wife and kids, I'm going to make sure I do my best at football and give my all to it because it's how I provide for my family ultimately, and my family comes first. So compartmentalizing is tough, I would think, and just take it the best I can one day at a time.
And also from like a football perspective, you've played for some pretty good defenses, right? I mean, you guys, by most stats, are somewhere middle of the road here, which is obviously, you're progressing upwards, it seems. How close are you to becoming one of those top units in your mind? Like, what do you need to do to get there?
Continue to trend upward, one game at a time. I think the position we're in, every game matters. Obviously, our division's in play. Who knows? We don't even know how many playoff teams are going to be this year. So we're just taking it one game at a time, trying to get better in 2 minutes. Against Philly, we lost the game in 2 minutes at the end there. We lost the lead. And last game, we had 3 picks in 2 minutes. We had one at halftime, and Peppers had an interception essentially there in 2 minutes there. And then I had the one to end the game. So I think we're trying to get better at that situation. We're getting better in third down. We're light years ahead of where we were at the beginning of the year. We were the worst third down defense, couldn't get off the field. It was embarrassing. And I think we're playing better on third down. And I think we've always stopped the run pretty well. Those are always big keys of ours in the red area. I think we're improving in the red area the last couple of weeks and making people kick field goals and getting turnovers. So, to get to the top is just some ranking at the end of the year, however they do it, yards, this, that. But we care about points. I think we've been a pretty good scoring defense. I think we can improve. And I think we just want to continue that trend of keeping people at the end zone.
I'm curious. I mean, you kind of brought it up there with the 2 interceptions in the 2 minute last week. But, going back to the game against Philly, you guys coughed up the fourth quarter lead. How much does what happened last week give you guys confidence you can carry over to this week? And how much of that can kind of become your identity that you can close out teams at the end of games?
Yeah, you just want to be consistent, and at the end of the game is winning time, and obviously determines the outcome of the game most of the time. It's most games aren't blowouts, so it's going to come down to those last kind of possessions in the end of the game as we watch football to see who's going to win it and who's going to lose it. I remember Magic Johnson quoting the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter is his time. It's winning time. So I think the better our best players play in those moments, the better I play in those moments, the better Blake plays, Bradbury, whoever it may be, Leo. the better we play in those moments, I think it's winning time for us to go make those plays. We were able to do it last week. The previous game we weren't. But it's learning experiences, right? Learning opportunities, unfortunately, by taking a loss. So we had to learn against the Eagles game, and we did it better against Washington. We got to learn from that and try to continue that trend. But, I think Carson Wentz makes a lot of decisions all over the place, some good and some bad. But I think that guy really, really wants to win, and I think he puts the ball up in an opportunity to win the games, which he did against us last time. So I just got to be better in those moments to protect our defense. And I think I'm going to be better in these opportunities here to close the game out, because that's what the defense relies me to do.
Thanks.
Last one here, Tom Rock.
Logan, I think one of the things that gets lost sometimes when we think about your season is that you've switched positions. Has that gone better than you thought it would?
I don't know. It goes as I put the work in. I think I work extremely hard, but yeah, I've called myself a safety, but I've never, really done it to this extent. And it is my first year at the position full time. It's my first year back there in the post. It's my first year doing the same things I do. And I didn't have the reps in training camp. I didn't have the reps in OTAs, but I was working behind the scenes. And I honestly believe with my work ethic and my toughness and my willingness to be great, I think I could be the best safety. I think I could be the best safety in football, and I'm working on it. And I do think I have a ways to go. I'm learning from the safeties here. I'm learning from safeties around the league. Two of my best friends are Kevin Byard and Devin McCourty, who are all pro at the position before. So I surround myself with guys who are really good at it, and I watch from everybody. I'm developing my own style of how to do it, but I think that ultimately I think my toughness, my work ethic, and being fundamentally sound and my ability to go get the ball, I think, is what can make me the best safety in football. And I'm going to try my best to do everything I can to be the best safety for the Giants. And I'm excited. The more reps I get, every single game I get more comfortable at the position.
What made you go through that transition this offseason? If obviously you didn't have a coach, you didn't have a team to tell you that it was that you had to move. Why'd you make that change?
Because I was tired of being labeled as a slot corner. I think in Tennessee we had three good corners, and Malcolm Butler, Adoree Jackson, and myself. And I played 100% of the snaps. I played on the perimeter. I played outside. I played inside. I matched up on tight ends. I matched up on running backs. I matched up on whoever Dean Pease told me to match up. I was a versatile piece for our defense and a key part of it, similar to here. And then, I got labeled as a slot corner. And I just didn't think the label is really fair to modern football. I don't think we label Keenan Allen as a slot receiver. He's getting paid as a number one receiver. I don't think we label Michael Thomas, who runs 90% of his routes out of the slot, as a slot receiver. Let's pay him $5 million. No, I think he's getting $20 million because he's one of the best receivers in football. DeAndre Hopkins lines up in the slot a lot more. So therefore, some of your better defenders have to go in there more. James Bradbury has to go line up in the slot and match some of these guys a little bit more. He's not a slot corner by anybody's means. So I just think the future of football is having more versatile players out there. And I felt like my future was to go to the safety position because I'm able to match up these Evan Ingrams, these versatile tight ends, these really good running backs out the backfield. I'm able to blitz, which is something I worked on, and I'm able to ultimately play against the quarterback. And I think my mind and my communication are my two biggest strengths. And I think that bodes well for a safety. And I think my best opportunity to be the best in the league is at safety. And I had a lot of fun playing perimeter corner for won Super Bowls at it. I had a lot of fun playing in the slot predominantly. Now I play all over, and you can call me what you want to call me. I just want to be a really good defender.